Hey guys, what's up? It's Kelsey here. Welcome back to the channel. So good to have you guys with me today. I'm going to be teaching you all how to varial flip and backside flip. You guys seem to really like these types of tutorial videos, so I really hope I do a good job and help you guys out learning a new trick. Should be pretty fun. Let's get to it. First of all, you'll see that I'm not in my usual filming position. Usually I film these types of videos on either the Black River Park or the Black River Plaza, but today we're back at the trusty old desk because New at the bread shop has taken those parks. They are totally available for the public to use, so contact the bread apparel store. I'll link the Instagram down below in the description. But without further ado, let's get into the varial flip and backside flip. Today I'm going to be using a unique deck hatchling shape. We have some Winkler H2T2 wheels and Black River trucks with teak bubble bushings, and then some of the tape that came with the unique deck. Today we're bringing out the GoPro Max so you guys can see the tricks a little bit better, and it is a 360 camera, so leave in the comments below what you want to see me film with that. There are 3 tricks I recommend you guys learning before you try to do the varial kickflip and the backside kickflip, and that would be number 1, how to kickflip, number 2, a shove it, and number 3, a backside 180. So the first trick we're going to learn is the backside kickflip, and then we're going to move on to the varial kickflip. The reason I'm pairing these two together is because they are very similar tricks. The only difference is a 180-degree rotation with your hand and not the board. So I think they kind of go well hand in hand or finger in finger. So for the backside kickflip, you're going to want to combine the kickflip with the backside 180 rotation of your hand. So the board will be turning 180 degrees as well as rotating 360 degrees. So that trick will look like this, and I definitely recommend you guys going frame by frame to get an understanding of what rotation that the trick is doing. So you'll probably notice how I kept my hand up here on the board instead of laying it flat down like this. Technically, you can say that both are backside 180s, but personally, I think when you land the trick with your elbow up and your fingertips on the board rather than the whole top part of your fingers, it just does look a little bit cleaner. So if you're having trouble with the full 180-degree rotation and maybe it's going like 150 degrees or you're not quite landing as straight as you started out, I would just recommend trying to continue with the motion of the trick, and if you have to revert a little bit to get to that full 180, go ahead and do it, and then just try to lessen that each time you practice the trick. Say it's looking a little bit something like this. So just doing that little revert is completely fine in my opinion, but once you start doing that, you can kind of get a better feel for the 180-degree rotation of your hand, and it'll become a little bit more comfortable. It is somewhat of an uncomfortable position, as many fingerboard tricks are when you first start learning them, but as you progress more, you should be able to get it just fine. I'm not quite scooping with my back finger like I would for a tray flip, for example, but I am coming back with my finger just to kind of get that rotation down, and I am sliding up with my top finger. Here's a slow motion so you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying. So open that palm up while you're doing that normal kickflip rotation, and make sure you get that finger to the other side and your palm is fully rotated before landing on the board again. Now for the varial flip, it's essentially the same trick but without the rotation of your hand. And how this is different from a kickflip, which might be helpful comparing the two. When I do a kickflip, I'm popping, sliding up, and I'm kind of flicking off while pulling my wrist backward. You won't really be doing this in a varial flip. You'll just be flicking and bringing your hand upward, and the board should take on a natural trajectory of like a kickflip with that 180 out rotation. So what you really want to focus on for the varial flip, popping the board, sliding up off the board, your back finger will actually kind of come off that way, and then your front finger will also come off that way. Here's a slow-mo video so you guys can see the rotation. So one thing I'm noticing just sitting here doing the trick is that whenever I pop it and do my rotation, the flicks off the board, my fingers are straight the whole time. They're pretty much just like this the entire time I'm doing the trick. I don't have to curl it like I do for a heel flip or a tray flip. I'm gonna exaggerate the straightness of my fingers in this next clip, but see how you can tell where it really just matters where you flick off of the board rather than what your fingers are doing. So to me, it feels a little bit unnatural not to bend my fingers, but I do think that it is the easier way to understand how to land this trick. But when you get a little bit better, I would recommend probably just loosening up your fingers a little bit, make it look a little more natural like this. So overall, the key things to remember for the backside flip are popping it, sliding up, taking your finger without the scooping motion off the back of the board, rotating your palm up toward the sky, and landing at a 180-degree rotation. The most important thing to remember for the varial kickflip is to keep your fingers straight when you're starting to learn the trick. Pop it. Try to get your front finger off the center or center right of the nose and pull your back finger off in a flicking motion as well. Again, you can keep your fingers straight, but you do want to feel both fingers as they come off the board. Let the board spin and do its thing, and then try to land on the top of the grip tape. That's about all you'll need to know before learning how to backside flip and varial flip. It's not going to come very easily. I do see most of the time when people are trying to kick flip, they end up varial flipping. So I think one way to let this happen is to kind of let the board do its thing, let it spin up in the air, and it'll probably start that rotation somewhat naturally. For the backside flip, I would really recommend practicing the backside 180s first, because when those look natural, the backside flip will come a little bit more naturally. So yeah, that's about all you guys need to know for the backside flip and the varial flip. I hope you liked the desk setup with the extra camera and stuff. If you've made it this far in the video, I want you to put in the comments down below whether you like the backside flip or the varial flip. If you can't do them, just say which one you think looks better. If you guys want to get looking better too, speaking of, check out the merch down below. It should be right underneath the description of this video. I have these shirts, which has a singular continuous line drawing of a skateboard, and then it says KFB with a peace sign on the back, which you can check out down there. It comes in the t-shirts, long sleeve tees, and hoodies. So I'd really appreciate you guys checking those out. Made the design myself. And I'll see you in the next video. The next tutorial video will likely be how to hospital flip, which I get a lot of requests for. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe with that notification bell on, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.